We're glad to have here in our studio our first guest for today, who is Dr. Lauren Kenworthy, who is a professor of neurology, pediatrics, and psychiatry at the George Washington University School of Medicine and director of the Center for Autism Spectrum Disorders at the Children's National Medical Center. At the beginning, we're very glad to have you here in our studio. At the beginning, Dr. Lauren, shall we talk about a very crucial point? I believe you mentioned in your session, which entitled What Matters in the Long Run, Improving Adult Outcomes in Autism and Other Developmental Disabilities. My point is, as years go by, more and more children are identified with autism and other developmental disabilities. Outcomes for these people are very poor in adulthood. What are the causes, in your opinion, and how can we enhance the percentage? Because I believe that is as few as 9% is being able to live and work independently as they grow up. So how can we enhance this percentage?
That's a great question, and it's something that I think motivates all of us. And when we think about this conference here, that's really a driving force for bringing folks from all over the world together to try to understand how we can better help people on the autism spectrum. And I think one important thing to think about when we hear those discouraging numbers about outcome is that we are improving our ability to help children with autism all the time. And so when we look in the past and the people that are now adults, they got less services even than the people now. So the first and most important thing we do is early identification. It's educating everybody in the community about how to see the first signs of autism in little people so that we can intensively intervene in order to improve their outcome as they get older.
Okay, great. And that's going to lead me to another question about which are the specific behaviors and cognitive skills that are really important to learn in order to enhance and improve those outcomes in adulthood.
Yes. And you're right. We want to target, we want to be very specific and target those behaviors that will have the most impact in terms of long-term outcome. And the first thing we need to do is make sure that we help the child become a good communicator. And for children, that comes in different ways in autism. Some children are using sign language, augmented communication techniques. Other children are speaking like you and me. But we want to make sure that we get their full potential in terms of their ability to express themselves and to understand others. And that's a fundamental behavior that we target very early.
So the key point here is to enhance and to work more on their integration with the society, for example?
Exactly. Because once they can communicate, and once the other piece is we want to teach them to be learners, how to learn, the importance of learning from others, and then they can functionally integrate with others in more mainstream kinds of settings at school and then in the long term at work as well.
Okay, great. And my last question for you is I need a quick brief about the presentation because I know that today you are having a session and tomorrow we are going to have a workshop. So how can you summarize all of that in 1 minute? Just to finalize, and one more question about your impression about the conference. Are you planning to attend more sessions? Have you had talks with colleagues, for example, with other professors to exchange knowledge about about research industry, about research in regarding disability and rehabilitation?
Yes. So the big picture about my presentations is my first message is we want to look at the fact that we do see those poor outcomes, but to remain very hopeful about the fact that we can change those in the future. And one of the exciting things about autism is that kids change. That when we can have a small person who's diagnosed with autism, and there's actually about 15% of those children can grow up not even to have the disorder because of the intensive kinds of interventions that they get. So we want to always improve our intervention and know that we can have a remarkably large impact in terms of helping people with autism contribute to society. They have so much to give to society. Many of them are very smart, loyal, technical folks, and they want to share that. And so that's our mission, is to make sure that they can do that. And technology, in my workshop I'll be talking about, there's many ways that we can use technology to enhance the treatments that we give to kids. And as long as we stay focused on evidence-based, scientifically supported treatments, and use technology to disseminate them broadly, we can have a very wide impact, I think. Yeah.
Great. At the end, we would like to thank you very much for your time and for being here. I wish you have a great time of exchanging knowledge and share experiences, because I believe that you have very long years of contributing to this area. Yes. And thank you so much again.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. It's very exciting.